Welcome to the YouTube channel, Contact Center Knowledge Hub, your one-stop solution for expert guidance, best practices, and actionable knowledge in the world of contact centers. Explore, learn, and enhance contact center skills. Let's see about scenario modeling forecasting method. Let's talk about scenario modeling forecasting, a strategic approach designed to prepare your operation for uncertainty. Instead of relying on a single forecast number, scenario modeling builds multiple what-if situations to understand how different internal or external conditions could impact future call staffing levels and overall performance outcomes. It evaluates a spectrum of possibilities, from the best-case scenario to the expected case, and even the worst case, giving leaders a clear view of how demand may shift under varying circumstances. This approach supports smarter staff, stronger risk management, and more confident planning. Scenario modeling doesn't attempt to predict the future. It prepares you for it. Now, let's look at the core principle behind scenario modeling. Scenario-based forecasting starts with a simple truth: the future is uncertain. And that uncertainty is driven by multiple shifting variables, from customer behavior changes to campaign response rates to systems. It also includes broader influences such as macroeconomic trends and policy or regulatory changes. By varying these assumptions across different scenarios, planners can clearly see how sensitive demand, staffing needs, and operational costs are to each factor. This sensitivity view allows leaders to plan proactively, adjust quickly, and build stronger resilience into the operation. Let's begin with step 1 of scenario modeling, identifying the key drivers that shape your forecast. Every contact center forecast is influenced by a set of underlying variables. These are the forces that expand or contract workload, shift demand patterns, and impact how many agents you ultimately need. Start by listing the factors that have the strongest influence on your operation. Contact volume drivers, such as marketing campaigns, billing cycles, seasonal events, or unexpected outages. These events can trigger predictable spikes or sudden surges in customer demand. Average handle time variability, because even a small increase or decrease in HT can dramatically impact staffing requirements and queue performance. Customer base growth or churn, as the size and behavior of your customer population directly determine the volume of interactions. Shrinkage and productivity trends, including absenteeism, breaks, system downtime, and after-call work. These factors alter the effective capacity you have available at any given time. Self-service and automation adoption, which can shift workload away from voice to digital channels, or remove it entirely when customers resolve issues through bots, apps, or portals. By clearly identifying these drivers upfront, planners can vary their assumptions and understand which scenarios create risks, which scenarios create opportunities, and how each factor influences staffing, cost, and service delivery. Step 2 in scenario modeling is to define the types of scenarios you will evaluate. These scenarios represent different possible futures, each shaped by unique combinations of volume, AHT, productivity, and operational conditions. Let's break down the most common scenario categories used in call centers. First, the best-case scenario. This reflects an optimistic outlook, lower contact volumes, shorter handle times, and higher productivity. We typically use the best-case view for situations where operations are stable or when automation and self-service have recently improved efficiency. Next, the expected or base-case scenario. This is the most probable outcome under normal business conditions. It serves as the standard planning baseline, the scenario around which most scheduling and capacity decisions are made. Then, the worst-case scenario. This represents a pessimistic outlook, higher volumes, longer handle times, and reduced staffing efficiency. It's extremely useful for stress testing the operation, planning for risk, or preparing for a new process rollout where uncertainty is high. And finally, the extreme or contingency scenario. This scenario models outlier events such as a major system outage, a PR crisis, or sudden policy changes. It's a critical component of business continuity modeling, helping leaders understand how the operation behaves under severe or unexpected disruptions. By defining these scenario types clearly, planners can compare outcomes, assess operational resilience, and design plans that remain effective even when conditions shift. Step 3 in scenario modeling is about assigning probability and defining the input variables for each scenario. Once your scenario types are established, the next step is to translate them into quantitative assumptions. These assumptions form the mathematical backbone of the model and determine how each scenario behaves. For every scenario, best case, expected case, and worst case, you assign specific values for key forecasting parameters. For example, monthly call volume. Best case, 90,000. Expected case, 100,000. Worst case, 120,000. Average handle time. Best case, 280 seconds. Expected case, 300 seconds. Worst case, 340 seconds. Shrinkage rate. Best case, 28%. Expected case, 30%. Worst case, 35%. Each combination of these parameters generates a distinct forecast outcome, giving you a clear view of how staffing requirements, service performance, and operational cost will shift under different conditions. This is where scenario modeling becomes truly powerful. By quantifying the impact of variation, you no longer rely on guesswork. You make decisions based on structured, data-driven possibilities. Step 4 in scenario modeling is where we bring everything together by running the forecast calculations for each scenario. Once your input variables are defined, you apply standard workload and staffing formulas to convert those assumptions into actual FTE requirements. The core formula used is required FTE equals volume multiplied by AHT divided by the occupancy target and divided again by the number of working seconds. By applying this formula independently to each scenario, you generate 3 different staffing outcomes. For example, times best case scenario, the model may require around 110 full-time equivalents. Times expected or base case scenario, the requirement may rise to approximately 125 FTE. Times worst case scenario, staffing needs could increase further to roughly 145 FTE. These calculations allow you to see, in clear numerical terms, how shifts in volume, handle time, or shrinkage impact the staffing plan. It also highlights the operational sensitivity, showing exactly how much risk or buffer you need to build into your schedules. Step 5 in scenario modeling focuses on evaluating the financial and service implications of each scenario. This is where forecasting goes beyond numbers and begins influencing strategic decision-making. For every scenario you model, assess how the staffing outcomes translate into service performance and financial exposure. Start with service level impact. For example, your best case scenario might maintain an 82% service level. The expected case may drop slightly to 78%. And the worst case scenario may fall further to 72%. These shifts help you understand how sensitive your operation is to volume, AHT, or shrinkage variations. Next, review the overtime cost and SLA penalty risk. Higher workloads or lower productivity often require additional staffing hours, increasing overtime and potentially triggering contractual penalties when service level commitments are not met. Then examine idle labor and cost per contact. In best case conditions, you may have excess capacity, meaning idle labor cost goes up and cost per contact may rise. In worst case conditions, the opposite happens, labor efficiency may improve, but service performance and customer experience may deteriorate. By quantifying these impacts, you gain a clear picture of how each scenario affects both operational delivery and financial outcomes. This step helps leaders make informed decisions on buffer staffing, budget allocation, and risk mitigation. Step 6 in scenario modeling is about converting insights into action by creating clear, pre-approved response strategies for each scenario. The goal is simple. When conditions change, the operation should not scramble. It should respond with a planned, structured playbook. Start by defining overtime triggers for high-volume situations. These triggers specify exactly when overtime should be activated, reducing decision delays and ensuring adequate coverage during unexpected spikes. Next, implement cross-training strategies. Cross-skilled agents can handle overflow queues, absorb peak demand, and provide flexibility when certain channels or lines of business experience sudden pressure. Then, design shift optimization and voluntary time-off options for low-volume periods. This ensures that productivity stays healthy and labor cost remains under control, even when the workload dips below normal levels. Finally, outline a rapid outsourcing or bot activation plan. This includes pre-approved vendor support, digital automation triggers, or bot workflows that can be activated quickly to handle unexpected surges. The result is powerful. Instead of reactive firefighting, the operation has a proactive, scenario-aligned playbook, enabling faster decisions, better service stability, and stronger financial control. Let's look at a practical example of how scenario modeling works in a utility call center. We begin by examining 3 forecast scenarios, best case, expected case, and worst case, and observe how each one changes staffing, cost, and service performance. In the best case scenario, the center forecasts 80,000 calls. The staffing requirement comes to approximately 105 FTE. The monthly operating cost is around 220 lakh rupees. And service level performance holds strong at 85%. In the expected scenario, forecasted call volume increases to 90,000. This pushes staffing needs to about 120 FTE. The monthly cost rises slightly to 240 lakh rupees. And the service level stabilizes around 80%. In the worst-case scenario, call volume may reach 110,000. Here, the operation needs close to 140 FTE. Monthly cost rises to nearly 270 lakh rupees. And the service level drops to approximately 73%. Now, here's the key insight. A swing of just 30 FTE between the best and worst scenarios can change monthly operating cost by almost 50 lakh rupees. This variance alone justifies the need for buffer staffing, contingency budgets, and a strong scenario-based readiness plan. This example highlights why scenario modeling is not just a forecasting technique. It is a financial and operational risk management tool. To truly understand the value of scenario modeling, it helps to compare it with traditional forecasting. Traditional forecasting typically produces a single prediction. It operates on fixed assumptions, relying heavily on historical data and statistical patterns. Its primary objective is accuracy, extending past trends into the future. This approach works well for short-term operational planning where conditions are stable and predictable. Scenario modeling, on the other hand, delivers a range of outcomes rather than one number. Its assumptions are variable, flexible, and intentionally stress-tested. The purpose is not only accuracy, it is preparedness. Scenario modeling focuses on simulating future uncertainty, allowing planners to anticipate risk, build resilience, and design proactive response strategies. It's best suited for strategic planning, long-term decision-making, and environments where volatility is high. The key takeaway is simple. Scenario modeling does not replace statistical forecasting. It complements it. Traditional forecasting tells you what is likely. Scenario modeling prepares you for what is possible. Scenario modeling has powerful, real-world applications across every major planning activity in a call center. Let's walk through the key use cases where this approach adds exceptional value. Number 1. New campaign or product launches. Scenario modeling helps estimate different levels of customer adoption and inquiry rates. By testing multiple response patterns, leaders can prepare for underperformance, overperformance, and everything in between. Number 2. Seasonal peaks such as tax season, holidays, or billing cycles. Here, scenario modeling allows planners to simulate both optimistic and pessimistic peak load expectations. This ensures that staffing, budget, and buffer capacity are fully aligned to seasonal volatility. Number 3. Process or policy changes. Whenever rules, forms, billing structures, or workflows change, call centers see a surge in how-to questions and complaint calls. Scenario modeling quantifies that spike and helps teams prepare proactively. Number 4. Automation and self-service implementation. Whether it's chatbot deployment, IVR upgrades, or app enhancements, scenario modeling helps forecast contact deflection rates. It also validates the projected ROI by comparing best-case and worst-case automation impact. Number 5. Disaster recovery and business continuity planning. In critical situations, such as agent absenteeism, network failures, or site outages, scenario modeling simulates the operational fallout. This enables faster decision-making, stronger contingency planning, and more resilient recovery strategies. Across all these applications, scenario modeling gives call centers the ability to anticipate uncertainty, reduce risk, and build stronger operational readiness. Scenario modeling offers several powerful advantages that directly strengthen operational planning, financial management, and stakeholder confidence. Let's walk through the key benefits. First, it supports better decision-making. Scenario modeling gives leadership a structured way to plan resources, budgets, and risk tolerance. Instead of relying on a single number, leaders can see the full spectrum of possible outcomes and make smarter, data-driven choices. Second, it improves financial readiness. By quantifying the cost implications of uncertainty, scenario modeling helps organizations anticipate budget movements, allocate buffers, and prevent financial surprises. Third, it enhances agility. When actual volume deviates from the base forecast, and it often does, scenario modeling allows planners to adjust quickly. Teams already know the playbook for both upside and downside variance. Fourth, it builds client confidence. Clients see that you are proactively planning for risks, modeling uncertainties, and operating with full transparency. This strengthens trust, credibility, and partnership alignment. And fifth, it encourages collaboration across the organization. Scenario modeling brings together WFM, operations, finance, and client teams, ensuring that everyone is aligned on assumptions, risks, and response strategies. These advantages make scenario modeling not just a forecasting tool, but a strategic capability that elevates operational preparedness and organizational resilience. While scenario modeling is a powerful forecasting approach, it also comes with a few important limitations that planners should be aware of. Understanding these limitations helps teams design more effective, realistic, and sustainable modeling processes. First, scenario modeling can be time-intensive. It requires detailed assumption building, careful data validation, and multiple iterations. This means teams must invest effort upfront to ensure the scenarios are meaningful and reliable. Second, it involves a level of subjectivity. Many assumptions rely on expert judgment, and the accuracy of the model depends heavily on the quality of those insights. If inputs are biased or optimistic, the scenarios will reflect that. Third, it can become complex. Managing multiple variables, interdependencies, and scenario versions can overwhelm smaller teams or organizations with limited analytical resources. Fourth, there is a risk of over-scenarioing. Creating too many hypothetical cases can dilute focus and confuse decision-makers, making it harder to identify which scenarios truly matter. The good news is that each of these limitations can be managed. The recommended mitigation is simple. Keep your models limited to 3 or 4 practical scenarios: best, expected, worst, and one contingency. And update them quarterly to reflect new trends, risks, and business conditions. With these guardrails in place, scenario modeling becomes both manageable and highly effective. AI is transforming the way organizations approach scenario modeling, turning it from a static spreadsheet exercise into a living, adaptive forecasting system. Let's explore the key capabilities that AI brings to the table. First, AI powers dynamic what-if engines. Instead of manually testing a handful of scenarios, AI can instantly evaluate hundreds of combinations. For example, it can simulate what happens with a 10% increase in volume or a 5% reduction in handle time in just seconds. Second, AI delivers predictive correlation. It learns the relationships between variables such as campaign reach, customer behavior, AHT, or digital adoption. This allows the system to identify patterns like: for every 5% increase in campaign reach, expect a 3% surge in calls. Third, AI enables Monte Carlo simulations. These simulations run thousands of randomized trials using different input combinations, producing probability-based forecast ranges. This gives leaders a much clearer understanding of risk, uncertainty, and the likelihood of specific outcomes. Fourth, AI introduces real-time alerting. If actual performance begins deviating from the expected case scenario, for example, if volume spikes or productivity drops, AI can automatically recommend shifting to worst-case staffing or activating predefined contingencies. The result is powerful. AI elevates scenario modeling from a reactive planning method to a proactive, continuously learning forecasting ecosystem. It enhances speed, accuracy, agility, and preparedness, all in real time. Scenario modeling is not just an operational forecasting technique, it has deep economic and strategic implications that directly influence cost management, financial planning, and long-term business decisions. First, it quantifies risk exposure across cost, service performance, and headcount. By understanding how each scenario impacts expenses and staffing, leadership gains a clear picture of the financial boundaries within which the operation must function. Second, it guides capital allocation decisions. Scenario outcomes reveal whether it is more cost-effective to hire additional staff, invest in automation, expand digital self-service, or build flexible capacity through outsourcing. This transforms investment choices from intuition-driven to data-driven. Third, scenario modeling helps organizations define contractual service level agreements with clients using risk-adjusted expectations. Instead of committing to unrealistic targets, planners set SLAs that reflect genuine operational conditions, supported by scenario-based evidence. Fourth, it provides finance teams with cost elasticity curves. These curves show how sensitive costs are to volume changes. For example, for every 1% variance in contact volume, total cost changes by X%. This insight strengthens budget forecasting, variance analysis, and long-range financial modeling. The bottom line is simple. Scenario modeling enhances budget flexibility, strengthens profitability, and protects the organization from avoidable financial shocks. It turns forecasting into a strategic defense mechanism, not just a planning tool. Let's summarize the key takeaways from scenario modeling. First, scenario modeling is essentially what-if forecasting, a method that prepares you for multiple potential futures instead of relying on a single prediction. Second, it is ideally suited for environments that are uncertain, changing, or completely new, where traditional forecasting alone may not be enough. Third, scenario modeling helps balance risk, cost, and service by testing assumptions before reality hits. It gives leaders the ability to see challenges in advance and plan with confidence. Fourth, AI significantly enhances scenario modeling by improving speed, precision, and probability-based simulation. It turns static models into dynamic forecasting ecosystems. And finally, the true output of scenario modeling is not just a number. It is a decision-ready playbook, a clear set of actions that prepares the organization for any outcome, from best case to worst case. Scenario modeling transforms forecasting into a strategic advantage, enabling readiness, resilience, and smarter decision-making. Thanks for watching my YouTube channel, Contact Center Knowledge Hub. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more insights. See you in the next video.